we just, if we meet, we got to film it. That's all. So this should be all set. I will reach out to Dave and ask him and see if it helps. I think.
Can we do anything with the camera? Get like one camera going and.
I'll look into it,
can
but
we get a trail cam back there just to take pictures of.
I'll look into it.
Then we can find out like what times they're actually showing up with the shovels. And
I think it's after school, from what I've seen, like 3 o'clock. That's what it seems to be. They all come here and hang out.
Dig over there. Dig at the volleyball court.
Well, I talked to him before. Even that though
is soft sand. Like that, it's easy digging. Just
it'll be a big mess.
Let them go.
Because they'll ride on the field.
Over there, it's fine. I don't give.
Well, no, because they'll ruin the grass.
What's that?
They'll ruin the grass over there because it's a swamp.
You know, I just don't want it right when people walk in. That's all.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So it kind of.
Well, considering we just fixed it.
I mean, that kids would just do that, but I guess they would, right?
So, I don't know. Like I said, I'll mention it. I'll see if we can at least get one camera up and running.
Yeah, just something to find out when they're showing up and who's showing up.
But
you know, they sell those trail cams. I'll be in favor of buying one of those. You put it on the tennis court, and if there's any movement, poof, takes pictures.
But then we gotta. I'll see what we can get. We have to. I mean, the thing that I said to AJ, maybe it's worth. I can take a picture and make a post on Facebook, but that might devolve into a big discussion on why we don't have a BMX course and blah blah blah. And it's like, well, that's great, but
no, I don't think we should go public with it. We should.
Well, at public, I think you say, parents, if your kids are at the park, have a talk with them about being respectful of public property.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that'll help or hinder. Like I say, sometimes I think that it'll devolve into a big argument.
Right. Usually it does.
So
there's always someone out there with a grudge or an axe to grind or something they want.
That must have. So I'm trying to think of when we were last here. That must have just happened over the weekend.
No, I went and looked at it right before our last meeting. And it was, and then you had sent a picture.
Just a week ago, Sean finished spreading some dirt over there.
Well, he did it. He fixed it. I was here with. I was at the beach last week. I went shopping for the stuff with Gianni. That was Friday. I feel like I was here Saturday dropping it off. And I didn't see that. So that had to have literally been on Sunday.
The last few days, yeah.
And then Monday it rained. So, I don't know. Guess we can see if, let's see how bad it is, if it's just a little pile or what they did. I don't know if it's worth us trying to fix it or... zoom this in.
We have wireless here, right?
Yeah, it's just the whole thing is this hobbled together system that I have to take everything down, put it in a place, and have like 8 hours to just focus on nothing but Wi-Fi because I have to reset all the devices, reconnect all the devices. I hesitate to get into it in the recording, but we basically got screwed with this system. It's garbage. The parts of it that have, so we have to get
new.
This
is a fairly new system, right?
Well, it was 2013.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I
thought we did an upgrade there.
No, we've looked into it, but it's.
Oh yeah, they weren't getting back.
Well, it's so expensive, and I've just had it with these companies that come in. I mean, like, look at, I hate to say, like the work that was done here. They just went right up to the wall. There's just wires now going all up the side. It's just a pain in the ass. So I don't know. At a minimum, if we can at least maybe get one, buy one and get it connected and we got to get up to that pole.
Yep.
So.
I mean, I might be able to borrow my buddy's trail cam.
Do something.
Just.
I have a trail cam. I don't know if you need. I have two. One is Wi-Fi based that I want to put up back. The other one's extra. And I'm more than happy to let donate.
I can probably put one on this. I could probably get a camera and put it on this classroom in the short term. I'm just
if you go Arlo or Ring,
it's just accessing the top.
My preference is Arlo. I think it's easier, but the Arlo system, you just have to plug it into the router.
Right,
but
but you have to pay for that. It's all subscription, right?
You would have to pay for a subscription.
So that's the thing. We have a device that it works. We just have to buy the cameras that are compatible with it.
Yeah,
IP cameras.
I mentioned my buddy, who does, I would see him, but I guess he's working a weird shift, so I didn't see him.
Well, so I'll at least, I can order one for the side of the classroom and just get something that hopefully we can locally connect.
Okay.
Because I think there's an extra port there,
Gotcha.
and see if that gets us somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a major project, and it keeps getting pushed down the road with everything else. I'm looking at Amazon here. These are like $50. I think this would work, right? All right. So I emailed, I guess for the beach was the main thing. I want to find the email I sent you. So I sent Sean's most recent invoice. So it was a mix of normal stuff and then change orders. The total, I missed something on here. All right. It's 50, the total is 50,000. 2,000 for grading loom. That's part of this stuff. So the change order, the wood chips were 3,500, and the work to bring them in and grade all that was 700. The third set of stairs.
That's all part of the package except for the third stair.
Well, no. So the wood chips, and that's something we added. That wasn't part of his bid package.
Oh, okay.
That was it was whether the playground company did or he did it.
Gotcha.
And then the third stairs we knew up front, but so that I actually had talked to him because he put 3,000, but the bid is only 2,500. So
For the extra set of
he
stairs.
can't charge us more than that.
Right.
But he can. Well, we'll just have to update this. And then grading loan, that's part of the project. Where'd it go? So let me open up the actual document so I can edit this. History, properties, beach. Come on. So that is landscaping.
CPA pay for lighting on a
30.
tennis court, a basketball court. Probably not, right?
It's hard. The problem with the lighting, the CPA can't pay for maintenance. So we have lighting, we can't, like replacing it, that's maintenance. Lighting up a brand new field, that's a new endeavor.
Okay.
So the deal with the lighting, I mean, if we want to, I emailed that company again to ask them, they're supposed to get us pricing on the new poles. That's kind of where we've stalled out. I didn't even get a response, so that's not a great sign, but I think at this point we need to get these, figure out what we're doing with the poles. I mean, I found another, we had talked before, I have another quote for the lights. I don't want to order anything, so it sits on a shelf for 6 months. And I think it's a mistake to spend money now on labor to put lights up if we're just going to replace the poles. I mean, they do work.
Yeah.
It's just not great.
That's a lot of money for new poles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As far as
I mean, I don't know if you have any other suggestions.
footing-based poles.
Somebody else. What sounds like we can reuse wood poles. We just need somebody who can
Okay,
install
that's
them.
good to know. Yeah,
The inspectors didn't seem to have an issue with it.
great.
We just, I mean, I don't know if you know anybody else that could put up new poles. It might be
You
worth.
know anyone that works for the phone company?
No. Well, that's what this company is. They're the contractor doing all the work for Verizon.
Yep.
So they're like literally doing this all day long. I think they're just crazy busy. But, and then I don't know. Well, so
Remember Dixon? Remember the Dixons, that family?
No.
His son, John Dixon, and then Helen Dixon.
the one that worked for us?
No, he worked for the phone company.
No, the girl though. The daughter.
Yeah,
worked for us.
he worked for us, yeah. But he's the one that put like remember the old batting cage? He put all
those.
poles in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I
wondering
don't
how that
know what
happened.
else he did. Yeah, he just brought the truck in
Yeah.
after work one day, dug the holes and popped the poles in. which is fantastic. But he drove that truck, so he
Right, you just borrowed it. But yeah, so for the beach project, I mean, I think overall we're in good shape. We're a little, so if we do all of the estimates, everything, we're short 15,000. But so like the timbers around the playground, that's $10,000. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a high.
That's what he quoted. I assume that's labor and materials.
Yes. I would hope so. Yeah.
Now, some of that stuff we can do. We have plenty of money in the revolving fund, so I think there's no harm in saying, there are things that are outside the project that we're saying, there are additional improvements that we would do separately.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure if we replace that fence and split it with the neighbor 50-50, that's $4,000. The playground thing, the timbers are $10,000. Potentially $7,000 in tables and a couple $1,000 for some electrical work. So that's more than covers the 15,000 if we funded those somewhere else. So I think we're in plenty good shape.
Okay. Take your word for it.
Assuming, so we would just, it sounds like that rock could be $3,000. So I don't know how much more of that they're going to find.
Does it hurt anything to wait on that fence, for the side fence?
Well, so the side fence on the left, I think I would want to talk to the fence. I haven't talked to the company to get a price on that yet. I'm just going off what they quoted for that side.
Mm-hmm.
And I what you had said before, I think at this point our plan was not to touch that fence on the left. I think we need to wait on that, and then because if you wait, we can have our guys go in and do all the cleanup.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good for her to see what it looks like with all the stuff grown in, so she can decide. Because if that gets replaced, that's wide open. You can put a screen on it, but unless they want to pay for a more expensive, opaque fence. But I don't think
I would wait on that.
I don't think that's that important, right?
Nope.
I haven't fully priced out all the tables yet. That was from our initial price, but we can buy tables for revolving account too. That's not a big deal. And then same thing, I think we'd probably look at.
And tables could wait too till the very end, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And see what we have.
We'll know.
We definitely need the landscape timbers in there. Something to keep that mulch back. So I'm a little surprised it's that much money.
Well, I didn't see if he was down there. We could ask him.
Yeah, he is. He's down there.
I think the timbers themselves are very expensive as part of it. Because they're like big pieces.
Yeah. There's nothing else we could use, right?
I don't know. When I met with the playground guy, he mentioned there's like a plastic or composite option. And now I forget the price he told me. It was a lot.
Probably more than landscape timbers.
Yeah, it was not cheap. I might have written it down. But it was like something per foot. A second, because I remember doing the math and thinking. Yeah, I don't know. Because it's just like wood and it's just pinned through. And it's just the front and the back that we're worried about. But I think, so we probably would want to vote, if we want to do that, we probably would want to vote on that as a change order separate.
So let's vote on his bill so far, minus the $500 for the additional cost of the third stairway.
Well, he'll have to, I think he'll revise this. And
Do we want to wait for him to revise it? Do you want to
I think,
vote to pay him?
if he needs to, I think, yeah, we'd have to chat with him about this maybe offline. Because if there's a change order for something, that's fine. If it's a change order because it was a late addition or something, he just might need to itemize it differently on the invoice. That's all.
Well, I mean, in his defense, he wasn't told about the third stairway. So we had to actually demolish the old one or deconstruct the wall, and then install it later.
Yeah, I had no problem with the money. I just want to make sure that everything on paper matches everything.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with the. I mean, I had no issue with the invoice, everything, all the stuff that was part of the bid. So it'd be that, and then there was $1,000 for extra sand. That's like I guess a contingency. The stairs we technically already voted on. The chips and which I think we actually voted on the chips and whatever, approving him doing it. So I actually could just vote on this whole invoice, I think, if we're cool with it. I guess if somebody wants to make a motion.
Yeah, I can make a motion. Yeah. Not exactly sure how to phrase it,
Just,
but
I guess just that we would vote to approve and pay the current invoice for the beach work or something.
Mine, you know, with the discussion
Yeah.
about the $500 for the third stairway.
Yeah, I'll talk to him and just have him itemize that as additional labor or something, so it's clear that why it was done that way. All right, so then all in favor?
hey,
I'm meeting with Barry, I think at 1 o'clock. Let me just see if he emailed me a number.
We go back to the playground before we jump into something else. So do we need another motion to pay the $10,000 for that work?
Oh yeah, we should probably vote on that separately. So.
As long as it falls in our budget.
Well, I think we're going to pay that out of the revolving fund.
Okay.
So we have 175,000, but of that 75,000 just came in, so that's basically spent. But I think we're in pretty good shape. You know, I think we've rebuilt after COVID, but certainly, you know,
So anticipation of the
we usually spend
revenues that will be coming in this year.
Yeah, I mean, we usually spend 10 to 20 easily on small projects. So, you know, I think this lighting easily could be 10 to 20.
Yeah.
That's 10. There's some stuff we got to get for the camp, but that's, you know, $500. I'm trying to think if there's anything big that I'm not anticipating. Yeah, so I think that's totally.
Do we have enough money to do the bottom of that ramp? Rebuild the bottom of the ramp, you know, where the boats in and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, because I was thinking that, I mean, that'll come as that'll be a change order as well. Because it wasn't part of the bid package.
I guess it's at least a couple grand, right?
Yeah, but that's, again, I wouldn't spend 100,000, but I wouldn't feel bad about spending 20 to 30,000 on projects. I mean, we're targeting a minimum of $20,000-$30,000 in profit from the program each year.
Okay.
We'll see this year. Now we've upped our staffing levels some more. That'll probably eat into some of that, but I think that the rec program is basically what's paying for most of this stuff at this point.
Yep.
So we should probably ask him for then if he can at least put together at least an estimate for that ramp.
Right.
I forgot about that. And actually, was the sump a change?
Yep.
There's probably so there'll be some of that. I bought the sump pump we got. It was $170.
Probably gonna get that in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. He dug the hole. It's
Yeah.
full of water. Minusian, I was there the other day. They ran the line. He ended up just doing PVC.
Yeah.
So it should be.
It's
piece of cake.
pitched down towards the storm drain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we should be able to just leave it going, and when the pump shuts off, it'll drain
out
down.
the sill and,
So it won't.
right.
It won't. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, maybe I didn't connect on this. Rather than come in the corner, we're gonna go a little bit past it. Those old windows.
Mhm.
And Mark actually suggested, I think we just need to take that out, which we should anyway, and just board it up, and then you just put a little hole in the pipe and go right through it, instead of
Was it
trying to
high
go
enough?
through the rock. It's the same. It's right at the foundation. It's a foundation window, because if we try and drill through that rubble foundation, like, we can't.
Yeah, no.
It'd be horrible.
I thought we were going out through the sill of the house, sill plate.
This is going to be a little bit below it. I mean, we'd have to go look how he sloped the line. He put it all in and sloped it, so I would assume.
Yeah, I saw
it's
the
coming up.
stuff coming up out there.
Yeah, so that'll be the highest point for sure,
Okay.
because it's.
And we can
I
trim
think it's
that
coming
down
out of
a
the
little bit,
ground
too.
and up, so that it's going to have to pump up from the pump, and then it should, at that point, it should be going down.
Right.
We just got to make sure not too much water sits in it.
Mhm.
I mean, we should go look when we're done and just verify that.
Sure.
And actually, that if Sean has time, that's probably, we could maybe make a list of a few of those things because it's those windows that need to get boarded up, and then the siding on the shack.
Also, are we doing the paving on the basketball court, or is he doing that?
Ooh, that's the other thing we need to find out about. I got a price. Let me find it.
It wasn't included in the bid?
I believe we had said we would do it. I'd have to go back and read, but I
Yeah.
believe we said we'd separate it because we were going to do the sidewalks.
I thought it was Harshaw, right?
I forget.
I think we have to get 3 quotes. So I have a price from Harshaw.
So I just want to again make sure we have enough money for all
Yeah.
this stuff. You know.
I'm just, hang on.
It's been a while since I've looked at the specs, but
What is this for?
I thought we had,
Fine grade sidewalk. Machine paving sidewalk was $2,600. This is just Harshaw's price.
Uh-huh.
And then the repair to the basketball court was $850. I did not include, I didn't include the catch basin in when we got these proposals, but again, I would assume that would add another $1,000. But
it's definitely not in.
that needs to
plan.
be, let me add that to let me double check. Hang on, let me look at that. Beach, I have it, I just gotta find the scope here. I don't believe, I thought we were gonna keep the paving separate. Demo, construction, paver walkway, relocate. Yeah. So the sidewalk figure, I'm gonna put this in, pave the sidewalk is probably 3,000. Pave the catch basin, I put it 1,000, and then repair basketball, which I think is a separate from this project. Whatever he said, 850. I'll put 1,000. So that gets us at 20. But now let me pull this out because the basketball is revolving. The playground timbers are going to have to be out of the revolving account. The second section of fence. And then I think we had budgeted 7, so let's knock that down to only maybe 5,000 on picnic tables. So now we're at negative $1,900, which is not. So again, I think we're fine, but yeah, that's important. And we are using up, so we had $10,000 for drainage work. So we'll be able to use that up with the money with the catch basin. There was still like a couple thousand left. So Highway never billed us for any of the road work that they ended up just doing it out of their budget.
Mm-hmm.
But all that catch basin work
kind of falls in their realm anyway.
It's still drainage.
Do we need to vote on the rock?
We might as well over here. I don't know if we need
to.
to.
Did we actually ever vote on the?
Yeah, so I think the playground we should vote on.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the $10,000 to install landscape timbers around the playground area to retain the wood chips.
On favor.
Right.
And then just make a note of that. So then we need to get from him an estimate on, estimates on the beach path, which would be a revolving expense, the sump, which I assume he'll just include in his next invoice. And then
shouldn't change orders be separate?
Yeah, he itemized them. I don't know if I set this out.
No, shouldn't they be separate invoices?
Technically, I can ask him, but I did confirm with him verbally. I sent back, what are these all? Okay. So we could ask him if he could pull those out to a separate invoice if you think it's better. I mean he's got a week. We can't pay this.
There's not many left as far as change orders or anything like that. I just typically, you bill your standard stuff for the contract, and then change orders go on a separate invoice. That's why I've always done it.
Well, let me ask him because we can't pay this till next week anyway with the cycle. So if he could redo this and just send us 2 invoices just to make it, you're right, it'd be
Sure.
much cleaner.
Yes.
And then everybody's
And then we can
protected.
keep everything separate. Here's what we initially contracted, and these are the change orders, and this is the extra we had to pay.
We can talk to him about that. And then yeah, so I'll update with Harshaw, and then I was talking to Cataldo. They're retrofit LEDs. They're from the town hall.
Yeah.
They're
They went up inside a 2x4
Yeah.
fixture.
So we're gonna use them to replace all these, and I got a stupid amount of these little plastic boxes, and I'm just gonna screw them to the ceiling.
Just like this, or they're gonna have the enclosures too?
I think I was just gonna, with those 4 tabs, just screw them to the ceiling, and then we have these like 2x4 gray boxes.
Mhm.
So where the wire pokes out, just do that and run this wire into it. I mean, it's not great, but they're free, and these are
So
old.
can we get in the attic here? Or
There's
you
no-
just
there's nothing.
Tab onto the boxes. and
It's literally a hole in the drywall, and Romex comes out.
Okay.
When we ordered all the stuff for this, I bought some stuff from Home Depot, and he wanted these PVC boxes. They're like 4x4x2, and they screwed up and sent us like 3 cases of them.
Mhm.
And then when I did whatever, they were like, "Oh, just keep it." So we have like 20 of them in the attic
Okay.
down the beach. So I figure I'll use them up here.
Gotcha.
For now, as Dan Gardner's been ripping them out, I've been bringing them down here so they don't get tossed at town hall. There's another like 15 of them in the attic of the beach house from last year. I don't know why we don't just leave them, but I guess they're putting all new fixtures in town hall. But free to us at least. I mean, that's the only problem, is this just becomes the dumping ground for everything, and then all of a sudden we got to clean it all out. All right, so what else was there for the beach? Trees. So Ted Steves, apparently National Grid wants to donate 3 trees to the town, as basically to make up for the fact that they're cutting everything down. He was telling me that work they did on Quissit, it's like $100,000 worth of work that Grid basically is doing because it endangers all the lines. He's like, it's huge. But I think it's like the federal money that's trickling down that they're spending on cleaning up all the utility lines, because I ended up talking, they had to go somewhere else because they're still working. And they trimmed around our poles to make way for the new parking lot lights. I talked to the guy about that. But so Ted was thinking the beach for the trees.
Okay.
And his recommendation is sugar maples. He was concerned that the river birches are easily damaged by snow load. And I think he said the red maples weren't native or something like that, or they weren't. I forget what he said about the red maple now. What did I say to you?
I guess I'm okay with it. The only thing I'm worried about are the roots. Maple trees have shallow root systems, and within a few years they're going to start popping.
Yeah.
And people will trip on them. That's my only concern with roots on maple trees.
I'm gonna text Ted.
I mean, you could stay ahead of it with a really healthy watering system and adding loom once in a while. That's our concern, is that, I like his input, and I like sugar maples. Like, I'm all for it. It's a native species, all that stuff. And they provide good shade, they grow quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about the roots, because we'll end up with big roots like we had before.
What? And I know, and that's what we
Part
talked
of that,
about
I think,
before.
might have been erosion as well over time.
Yeah.
Topsoil going into the water eventually. These sugar maples aren't as bad as other types of maples.
I did ask him to find out, because we had planned for 4 trees to just be like even if we have to pay for the 4th one, can you just get us all 4 so they all match? Yeah. Or maybe we only want 3. Again, when we go down there, so Sean kind of dug the holes where
Well, we
they
have
should
no
go.
trees over here anymore either, to the right.
So that, yeah,
So we got 3 over here, and then at least 3, and then we need something over
and the
here.
fourth.
Right, where the
Um,
loom is.
So I think that's the only thing there. But otherwise, you're okay with the donation
Yeah.
because I think they're looking to
Make a
for a
motion to
commitment pretty
accept the
soon.
donation of 3 trees.
Second.
More feedback from the tree warden regarding sugar maple roots. Nice to know.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, hopefully he can. Let me look this up. How much about? Do all maple? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what he says. I don't know if I'll probably have to call him. Although he was there. I had to have him come. I had a huge branch fall in my front yard. They were actually there this morning cleaning that up. All right, where did the agenda go? All right, so playground. Oh, did we finalize the colors on the playground?
I just said whatever you feel like. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Because he's going to get that done. I guess their price is going to go up again. So I think this is what, here, I can turn this around, but this is what we've got. So the swings are 2 different tones of green, like lighter on the top. The slide is all green, and this is like a tropical orange, so it's a little more orangey, I think. And then the seesaw is green and blue.
Okay.
And that stuff probably will show up towards the end. But I guess this is soup to nuts. They'll do everything.
Footings, everything, right?
They dig the footings.
Okay.
He said it wasn't, because it's just each post, so it's only 7 footings they have to do for this. And they'll just push the chips to the side.
Super.
All right, so playground. Oh, the plumbing, that's where I was. So Barry, I'm talking to Barry.
So we're all done with the beach, right?
Well, this is beach plumbing now.
Oh, okay. Oh, this down here?
Yeah.
That plumbing, okay, I thought you were talking about the well or something like that.
I just want to see if he gave me an actual dollar amount. I think he said, I want to say he said, okay, $3,900. So what he's going to do, the line is there, it's going to come up in the garage, install a manifold. One's going to go up into the bathrooms as it always did. The snack shack line, he's actually going to run in the shack just along the wall under those other pipes, and then right out the middle. And they already did the work in the ground, and it'll just go in the beach house, and we'll just cut those pipes off. And I think we're going to just buy a point-of-use water heater to go in the bathroom in the beach house.
That's fine.
And basically all that other stuff, get rid of it.
Yeah.
So he's actually coming at 1 to meet me.
As long as we don't have a line coming down the side of the outside of one of the buildings.
You're going to have, so again, we can look at it. It's going to come up and go into the snack shack, right kind of where that green window, like that wood covering that used to be a window there is.
Okay.
And then on the other side of the snack shack, like if you're looking at that window off to one side, it's going to have to come out and go down, probably a little bit above grade.
As long as it's not coming down the whole side of the
No, it's not going to come down the whole side of the building. It's just going to come out and down.
Okay. So just above the
and we can look at
foundation,
it.
you mean?
Probably 2 to 2.5 feet off the ground, maybe
That's
3.
Fine. That's fine.
But yeah, not the whole length.
Good. That's fine. That sounds great.
Sounds
like a plan.
So that'll be much better. Oh, and we got a toilet donated. I'm in one of those buy nothing groups, and somebody in Mendon, they were getting rid of a toilet. So the toilet in the men's room, the tank cracked, so we were gonna have to fix it, but now we don't.
Awesome. Good thing you flushed that out, Dan.
And then I'm just looking at the agenda for the.
God, wind, Jesus.
It's like
waves out there all of a sudden.
it was real windy. I think that's it pretty much for the beach. There's a little bit of money left in that engineering account, $2,800. So we could use some of that towards some of this potential septic work, or maybe potentially. I mean, I think it was. I'd have to look at how it was worded. If it was specific to drainage, if we could use it to maybe get like an architectural plan for new bathrooms or something.
Mhm.
That's probably gonna be more than $2,800 though.
Yes,
Um,
for a septic design, yeah.
well, the septic was $8,000, but it'd be nice to have somebody just sketch up like just a new bathroom building. You know, how big would it be?
For ADA compliance.
You know, maybe not even. Well, no, the beach house is the ADA one.
Okay,
The upper bathroom will never be compliant because
Right.
it's too steep.
yes.
But just like, what would it? You know, how big would it be? What would it look like? Doesn't need to be fully designed.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe didn't you say BBT added some sort of a program?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too much to just be like,
It's a 2-year program now, so they don't have enough
Oh.
training to develop anything like that. But they could do a sketch of some beach bathrooms.
I just don't like that. Would that be one to just be like, you know, here's the proposal, you know, design, you know, sketch up a bathroom for this space, and you know, obviously we would need a lot more work, but it might be a cool project and would get us
I'd like to
ideas.
put maybe a little stairway there too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Instead of the asphalt.
That might look better.
Yeah, it would look a lot better.
Like
Because, you know, I was at the
steps.
ballroom the other day, and
Oh, you can see.
all you can see is that
that.
asphalt stairway going up to the rampway,
Interesting.
going up to the bathrooms.
I
I mean,
enjoyed that.
everything looked great. The
No, yeah.
walls look great, the stairways, the beach looked great. Then you see this big strip of asphalt going up the side of everything, you know?
That's interesting thought. I'm putting that in the minutes because we'll forget about that.
And since it doesn't need to be ADA, a stairway would be
Right.
perfect there, right?
Well, you're right. It would look really nice.
Yes.
Um,
Or maybe 2 stairways, you know?
yeah. Well, I don't know what will go there. I mean, my thought was individual, like 4 or 5 individual, like single occupancy bathrooms is what you'd put there.
How
So
about like changing area bathroom, changing area bathroom?
well, yeah, I think I'd put fixtures in all of them
Because
though.
not everyone needs the bathroom. You just might
Yeah.
want to go
Well,
and
when it's
change,
the
right?
camp, they do though. When you get 30 kids down there.
Yeah, but
So I would just, I mean, the toilets are cheap, but if you could do like a real self-contained, that it's literally just like toilet, sink, and a small area, I think you could fit 4 or 5 of them in there.
but don't they like to change too?
Yeah, but I'm saying multi-purpose though, because otherwise you're gonna have a line for the 2 bathrooms and then nobody using the changing rooms because they all want to use the bathroom.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I don't know. We'd have to price it out and see. Maybe, you know, if we can't afford 7 cents of hardware.
Well,
Right.
that drastically expands your. If we ever put a system up here, they always count, you know, heads, bathrooms, sinks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what we need the engineering for, is to,
Right.
what would it be size-wise? Right.
Doesn't hurt to ask. So
Yeah.
you need you know, on this, because the camp is like,
That's
you
gonna
know,
think about it.
you know, high energy, lots of people, and nothing.
Right. Yeah.
For the actual day-to-day beach stuff, a couple bathrooms, just like we have, is fine.
Yeah. My only thing now is it's
I
wasted
think
space.
with the camps, you know, come swim time, they're gonna want to change. They're gonna
Yeah.
need at least 2 changing areas, maybe a couple bathrooms, maybe a third. I don't know.
Well, one of the things for the camp we're gonna do, I want to buy some partition things and build some changing stalls in the beach house, like those portable curtain things.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll see how that works. You know, if that's all we need, that'll tell us a lot about, you know, what they really need.
Right.
I mean, because we can't really have the showers for the tight tank, but if you get rid of them, you'd have room for more bathroom space.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, as far as showers go, it should just be outdoor, right?
Yeah, but even that, it's hard. We'd have to. I mean, we kind of gave up on that upper area. You'd have to build something. I mean, I think people would like a shower, a place that they could shower. I mean, outdoor would be kind of nice. The kids just
Any
clean off.
public beach I've gone to, it's an outdoor shower, and then you go in and change in a room someplace.
The problem is the water has to go into a drain, I think.
Really?
I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe it doesn't if it's just
They just have them like right out on the beach.
gray water.
It's not even great. It's just people are rinsing their
Yeah.
body off from lake water.
Because if you
There's
could
no-
build,
There's no shampoo.
Yeah.
People just go out and just rinse off. Yeah.
if you could build like some sort of concrete something, and like, or like a
Usually
patio
they're
or
a push
stone.
button or a pull chain, right? And you just
Yeah,
have the water there.
we'd have to figure out how to do it without washing the place out.
Yeah.
Because that thing we have now, the water all runs down. It's a giant mess.
Yeah, no. Or maybe it's something we do down near the beach house.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that some more. Or maybe it's part of the bathroom project. That's something to look into.
Yeah. How about on the basketball court? No, we're there. Drains right into the storm drain.
We could, yeah, right into the
Just,
on the side of the building. I know what you mean.
we'll get to that when we get
Yeah,
to it.
no.
Just good tossing ideas around, yeah.
Well, that's a good idea for the because that's
You
definitely
mentioned
a need.
the window in the basement over there, just the one at the basketball court.
Yeah, that's
That's gotta be boarded up and sealed. I mean, there's water actually.
what I mean. I
Coming
think we need to.
Can they, when we do the asphalt repair, do a little berm around it to keep the, any water from going into that window? I don't know if you saw it.
Maybe if you can just do a berm along that whole side to just keep the water from being up against the building.
Something, yeah,
That's probably
that's where all
trivial.
That's where I think a lot of all the sand down in
Yeah.
that basement came right through that window. There's nothing there, there's nothing in the window.
Yeah, no, we need to have those closed up for
Yeah.
sure. Which
Plus all the critters get in there.
maybe maybe that's something Sean or somebody can do for us. But that maybe he can just do like a little curb along that whole building just to kind of keep the water,
Sure.
because that should be the highest point.
I mean, but you and I could put something in there. Like
Yeah.
use a
Oh yeah.
plywood.
Well, I think we're at the point. I mean, if you have time to do it, I don't have time for any more of those projects.
Okay.
I mean, I can do it, but it'll be August.
All right,
So
I'll do it.
I would ask.
I'll put some marine grade plywood in there or something.
Well, that's when we go. Let's go down and look and see what you think, because there's at least 3 of them that I think I would probably just take. The 2 of them still. I would take the window piece out and just close it up. It's not needed.
I'm thinking I have leftover plywood from a bathroom redo, and I think it's, do they make plywood waterproof?
They
Like
make
it's
marine-
like pressure treated.
Is that what you're talking?
They
I
make
have
marine
some.
grade.
I have some, which should be plenty big enough.
Yeah, they use in your
The guy
bathroom.
left it behind, brand new. I mean, we just had it redone 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
So he left a good chunk of it behind. I can get it to you. I can bring it, wherever you want.
Okay.
But I would think it'll fit, no problem. And
Yeah,
it's
they're just
probably
like
half an inch maybe thick.
1 by 2
If it
or
go that
something.
thick,
We could double it up. You'd probably want something 5/8.
it might be that. It's pretty thick.
Okay.
Yeah, he put it on. We took out the fiberglass, shower tub thing, and he put it just a big soaker tub,
Yeah.
and he put that in the floor under it, I believe. So it's pretty thick,
Okay.
but I have extra.
All right.
I'm positive, a couple pieces actually.
So you want to? They make those cheap basement windows too. You pop in
Yeah.
because that's bigger than a basement window open.
I'm guessing they're not going to be standard because nothing's standard on that building. The
Yeah.
bulkhead was custom.
We could do get some plywood and do the bottom with the plywood where the water hits it, and then have a berm there with some asphalt on it to keep the water from rushing.
Yeah.
And then if we can,
Well,
I'll
they're
look
not.
for-
Well, we'd have to go look at it. They're not below grade windows. They're just little strips. I don't think they need to be there at all. I would just completely
You
cover
don't want
them
any
up.
light in that basement for.
I'd put a light bulb down there if
Okay.
we ever go down there.
That's
I mean, see what you think when we look at it. I don't know. I wouldn't go crazy because I think they just get broken. Like anything that's not bulletproof, it's going to get a ball thrown through it.
True. Yeah. That's right.
Um,
They'll be kicking soccer balls.
I mean, I think that's what happened to that one.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. At some point we must have tried to cover it up with that piece of metal to stop the basketballs from going down there.
Mhm.
But it needs to be like fully closed in.
Okay.
I
We
don't know.
could add light fixtures if we need to, great.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so
Hopefully we'll have
definitely
them-
use the plywood.
Okay.
we'll have the
Yeah, I was
kids
gonna
clean
get-
that
I
out.
I didn't want to get rid of it, but I didn't get rid of it. Not yet. Usually I put that stuff out front and it goes in the heartbeat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
We'll have the crew clean that out. But I mean, really, it's not, other than a crawl space, it's not really used for anything.
Brian and the crew.
Yeah.
Let them.
Are we all set? Do they all respond? Everyone's in?
Yeah, so that's good.
Any new applicants?
let me just pull up the sheet to verify where we're at. So we had maintenance is all set. I have not reposted the fourth maintenance position yet. I just haven't gotten to it.
Okay, can you do that maybe this
I'll
week?
try and get that done.
Okay. I'm just worried that
Yeah, it'd be nice to get
things are not
somebody
gonna
else.
work out with Aiden, so.
Get that done. The camp is mostly all set. There's a few people I need to text that didn't answer the email. 2 new people declined a job, but that's fine because we kind of anticipated that. One of the shack people declined, but I think
We have plenty of people, right?
yeah, I'd hired 8. I think 7 is fine. It just means they'll get a little more hours. I mean, I'm a little nervous because I think Caitlin's going to leave for college, and then Liz and Mia and Maddie all have second jobs, but it should be fine.
Okay.
And then lifeguards, I'm waiting on.
And we have people coming up in the wings that are gonna take their places next year, right?
Well, we were going to hire 4. Now we're hiring 3. We did have 2 candidates for the junior shack position that were interesting. There was no point in hiring them so they would work, 1 hour a week. But we'll have to see if we think we want to
Well,
add
if we have
more.
one less shack person, could we get a junior? And just thinking of the future, that's all.
Yeah, we have that. I mean, we do have 3 new people that are 16 coming that'll be here.
Oh, good.
They're not all old.
Yeah.
They may not get, and I only had them getting 10 to 15 hours.
Sure. That's
Let me
fine.
just pull up
As
the
long as we're
sheet.
covered, Dan.
So
I'm
I
good.
think, yeah. And then lifeguards, I'm waiting on one. One of the new applicants apparently was interviewing somewhere else as well. So that's a little dicey. But other than that, we should be okay. I was kind of holding off on posting the swim lesson program until I knew that we hopefully had enough staff. It's not great. Rachel, I talked to Rachel. She can work kind of as a fill-in, but I think she can't commit Monday through Friday, which means she probably can't do lessons because you really would want someone consistent.
Yes.
But we do have other people that are capable. I guess we'll see again. There were a few days last year that we had to limit hours and because of staffing and just only open like 12 to 7 or something, or 12 to 6 and just have one shift. That's always been the hard position to fill. But other than that, I think we're in good shape, as good as ever.
Great.
Yeah,
that other maintenance position, I just have a feeling it may not work as planned, and if we have someone there, that'd be great. Otherwise, you'll end up.
I know.
out there
Well,
with one more.
either way, just getting somebody else, I think, trained
Yes.
is important. Unfortunately, this is the time of year. There's just so many things going on between this and then trying to get everything cleaned up. This project, we got to stop doing these projects in the spring. Gianni I'm meeting him tomorrow. I think he came. It looked like he took some trim off. He came over the weekend. We got all the stuff. I have another. Do you know, will Home Depot shake up like an old thing of paint for you?
Yeah.
Because we have another 5-gallon. It's at home now because I got to bring it over there. It kind of separated, but I'm hoping it should just shake up again.
Yeah. You can always bring it down to Ace or something like
Yeah.
that. Goodwin's is in on 140. Right. They'll shake it up.
Well, I figure we bought it from Home Depot.
Okay.
Just might have been 5 years ago, but
Is it Bear?
it's Glidden.
Oh yeah, they sell Glidden. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if it's their brand, they would probably
yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
absolutely shake it up.
So we got that. I don't know if we're going to need all the insulation, but we can always return what we don't use.
All right.
But I think he's planning on starting tomorrow, at least with some of the prep. I'm going to get the dumpster delivered. So baseball wants to get rid of that thing next to Grady Field. I guess somebody donated a metal toolbox they're going to put out there instead. Well, they need to paint it. It was a little rusty, but
Mhm.
so I had mentioned if there's room, maybe he can toss it in this dumpster, and then we get to get rid of the rest of that white plastic fencing that's up there that didn't fit in the last
Good
dumpster.
idea, yeah.
The
If you pack the dumpster right, it'll all fit.
Yeah.
You just gotta deconstruct everything.
Well, the last one we filled it, and they piled as much as they could on top, but we couldn't do any more.
Yeah.
But that's got to go.
But a lot of people just throw stuff in a
Yeah.
dumpster. Yeah. But if you stack it right, you can.
Well,
get
this should
twice
all
as
be
much in
sheets, so we'll tell them to put all that in first, just flat.
there. Good. Yep.
I mean, I think he's all set. We'll see. I don't know. You had said you might be around. Like, I don't know if you're around tomorrow at all, or
I'll be around for. You mentioned Thursday, right? Was the day Gianni was going to start? The 19th.
the 19th is tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay. Because I think I'm meeting him at 10. And then if you're around anytime, I mean, I'm kind of not hoping to spend a whole lot of time. Hopefully he can, once he
Yeah,
figures out what he's
I'll
doing.
come around, and I don't know what time he's starting. Do you? Any idea?
We had said 10 just to kind of meet, because we had to call the fire department to get rid of that box, and then maybe look at one of the windows.
Speaking of Eagle Scout projects, did I mention that kid that we met wants to do the painting?
Did you hear back from him?
Yes, he wants to do the painting and not the telephone rails out there. We met with an Eagle Scout, and we showed him all the buildings that have to be painted. So all of them except for the softball
What was his name?
area.
Oh, good.
Something Orbit.
Yeah.
That's right. So we should just maybe work with him, and we'll make a finalized list of everything he needs to paint.
Sam Orbit.
Sam.
Yeah.
I do have at least one 5-gallon of green paint, maybe more. That's from the shed. So we'll have to, I mean, that's easy enough. And then we have, this is all our stuff, the trays and whatever. We'll probably have some rollers left over. I mean, the only one that stinks is all the way out back. They're gonna have to put some tarps down and scrape all that first.
Okay.
But that's probably a good project for the scouts. And then he can, I guess that'd be good for him. He can kind of coordinate it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Classroom. What else was there for that? Oh, I sent you the picture. The Grover shed is done or in place.
Mm-hmm. That's good. They're taking care of the electrical hookup, all that.
So I guess we didn't really discuss the splitting on that. I had kind of just assumed that they did the shed. They ended up doing the dumpster completely to haul it away.
Yeah.
The cost for the classroom was like $300, so I assume Grover will be similar. And then I figure we would cover redoing the irrigation system, which again will be a couple $100.
What about the electrical service and meter and all that stuff?
So I texted. So now we have access to the building. I texted Joe, and I assume he'll go out this week to get it hooked back up. He thinks we're all set from grid. They'll just let us reuse what's there. He thinks they'll be fine with not upgrading it with a cutoff or anything crazy. There was something about if it was off for more than 3 weeks, it would trigger a whole new thing. But then he said he talked to them and they seemed fine with it.
Okay.
It's not like a house; it's a shed.
Right.
There's nothing there. I actually have a couple more of these little different ones that we can toss in there for lights. The question from soccer, they want to do. Let me see if I have a picture of it. They want to do a wall in the middle, so they can put up shelving.
Mm-hmm.
I think he emailed me. I didn't. Oh, come on.
There's wire on the inside of the shed.
I think short term, he's just going to put the panel back. And then we'll have to, I mean, I can do some of it if it's little stuff.
I can do it with you. I don't mind.
I'll let you know. It's just the, there's like a power line for the well pump, and then all that stuff's just going to get screwed back on and reconnected. That was all that was in there.
There's a power outlet in there and a power outlet outside.
Yeah, there was an outlet already for the like under the panel.
Mm.
Maybe we could do one outside too. I don't know if they've never needed that in the past, but I would like to do a hose on the outside. That way we don't have to go through the wall here. He sent me this sketch. Oh, no, sorry, that's the old one. False alarm. I don't understand. Where's the email he just sent me, like yesterday? Looks good. Oh, come on. Here we go. April 15th. Okay, there we go. So they were thinking divide the space up. So it's got a garage door and a like side door.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a few things. They cut a hole in the floor for the stuff coming out of the ground. And I actually am going to run it all the way over up to the wall, and then we can just screw something on top of it because it's just a waste of space. My only concern is the panel is here. So I don't necessarily think this needs to be two separate spaces. I think that's a little overkill. I mean, if they want to spend money on putting up walls,
Right.
You know, the thought was maybe you could have a mower that could live in here.
So there's an overhead door right here?
Yeah.
Right there now. Okay. And the over there is the porta potty?
That's what they did. The last conversation I had, I think they want to actually put the porta potty over on the tree line.
Okay.
In this off to the side
Mm-hmm.
instead of next to the building. But I don't know if that's changed. I mean, his thought here was that they could do more shelving. So they could have 4 walls of shelving. You know, I kind of would like to see a passage space here. Like, I think that's kind of obnoxious to have to go all the way around. And
yeah, I agree.
Especially with the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I was them, I'd just get some shelving and put it up in the middle of the room, and that's your wall. Like,
right.
You know, like nice shelving.
Mm-hmm. Or just leave an opening right here.
Yeah.
Something like that, just so you don't have to go outside to get back inside.
I haven't heard
he's
back.
Probably thinking about keeping our equipment safe from kids like messing around inside there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, to me, the ultimate Grover Field would be great if you could get one of those robot mowers there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think, you know, we don't have a mower that would go over here right now. Potentially, if we were going to have this be you know, the idea would be to stage mowers and have them just go mow at the spots.
Is there room for a mower in there?
It's a pretty big garage door. You know, but I also don't want them to feel like they spent money on the shed and now they can only use a tiny bit of it. If they need this space, you know, we don't necessarily need it right now.
Right.
But then again, once they fill it with stuff, that's it. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm not opposed to a
Yeah.
wall. I just wonder, could they just leave like a little opening right here, like
That's or up here,
2.5
like
feet wide or something.
something so you can just slip through.
Right.
And then I asked them if they can get some help to move the tanks back, because we need to get the tanks in there to figure out how everything's going to lay out.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like that layout though. It's good.
you can use.
It's not a full wall. That's all.
It's okay to use PVC for cold water irrigation, right? Like just.
Yeah.
Because I'd like.
As long as it's not drainage, not DWV. It has to be for water pressure.
Right.
Have a
But
pressure rating.
like white Schedule 40.
Yes.
That's okay for cold water, non-potable.
As long as it's
As long as yeah,
non-potable, right? All that stuff.
I mean it's. I think what I need to, like, that's why I want to get all the tanks in there so we can make the shopping list, because they had like a threaded fitting and then a piece of ABS like pipe clamped onto it, and then another. It was just so I think I want actual metal out of the tanks, and then it can switch to plastic, because we've got a water meter, and then it goes out to the irrigation.
Why not just go with PEX?
We could do that. It's got to be big, like 2-inch. So then I got to hire somebody.
2-inch. Wow.
Yeah, the water line coming in is 2-inch and going out, it's huge.
No kidding.
That's why it's got this giant like well controller. It's a 240 volt pump. That thing's no joke.
Yeah.
That they put in there.
Okay.
I would just think it's something that would be fairly easy to work with. And then I think it will just do it nice. It'll be all mounted on the wall and clean and not that ridiculous coming out of the ground and all over the place.
Yeah, if it has a pressure rating,
But-
you should be fine.
Get some time on that because we don't really need the irrigation until, although I shouldn't say that the way this is going. We'll probably need irrigation tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was already 80 degrees.
You never know, right?
But that's done. And then the only other thing I have on the agenda is the scholarship program we had talked about. So we do not have any requests from Mendon people for our financial assistance program. I've gotten like 3 so far, and they're all other towns.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the brothers would probably want to see any funds they donate given to Mendon people. So I think the question would be, we could do a post that we have this, scholarship money available for those who meet the existing criteria, or we could come up with additional criteria that's like more relaxed. We're just using the free and reduced lunch thing right now. I'll pull up the numbers for you. So I don't know, if you have so a household size of 1, income is 25,000. Household of 4, it's 50,000. Those are the cutoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we make it any bigger, and how you do, how we.
Do you feel there's a big crowd out there that needs our help?
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody. I don't think there's a whole lot. I mean, certainly and it's hard because certainly there's people I think this could help that may or may not always meet these strict qualifications.
We just have to be careful.
But you don't want to.
If we're the judge and jury on that, I think we just have to be careful.
Yeah, well, that's why it's better to have something that's kind of more rigid, that's not arbitrary.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a thing. So, we could potentially raise these limits and say, you won't be eligible for our 20% discount, but we have a grant that will pay, something $50 a week off.
We still have a sibling discount, right?
We do the sibling discount.
Okay.
I don't know, because it is a good idea if there was a way to.
Well, I think year to year that's going to change though.
Make it equitable, or if they just want to maybe donate, if they're interested in maybe donating $1,000 to be set aside for scholarships to be, and leave it up to the commission to decide how to best allocate that money, and their only restriction is that it's, has to be limited to somebody that resides in Mendon or Mendon Upton or whatever they're comfortable with.
Sure.
Maybe that's the thing to bring back to the brothers and see if that's, if they're just looking to, I guess for lack of a better, donate $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, I guess we'll have to think about how the best way to make it available or let people know that, I don't really need like an application or something. It really should just be based on, like you're saying, just need. I don't know.
The only thing because I can bring that feedback back to we have the board meeting Thursday night, just so whatever we present to the membership on next week, but if the brothers were doing like 1,000, for example, and no one needs it this year, it will carry over to next year?
Yeah, so I think we have a gift account, or we could even just put it in the revolving, and earmark it, but it would be a limited donation, so we can't spend it on something that they didn't, if they donated for X. But yeah, it would sit in a gift account until it's used.
Yeah, your point of maybe next year somebody would need it.
Yeah, that's what I think. Eventually someone's gonna need it, but maybe not. Some years it might be more than we can even handle.
Right.
So you just don't know, like, who's gonna sign up. Plus, I mean, the economy's still doing good, but who knows what's gonna happen in a year.
Yeah.
With inflation
Well, I
and
think,
everything else, and some layoffs going on here and there. I just think for right now, people don't seem to need it, but in future years, guaranteed, some folks are gonna need it.
Sure.
Maybe we just revise our financial assistance to just say, like, it's open to anybody, but if you're from Mendon, in addition to this, we'll give you some amount per day that will be offset by these scholarship funds.
Mm-hmm.
If that's maybe like say another $20 per day or something.
I like the idea of keeping it in Mendon.
Yeah.
Maybe Upton, but that would be it.
I mean, if you did that, 1,000 So that would basically, you know, if we said we'd take an additional $20 a day off, then that would say that would be 50 days we could fund. So they're paying $48. So instead of what is it, 60, you pay 48. That's the discounted rate.
Okay.
And then of that 48, the scholarship is paying a little less than half of it. And that $1,000 would fund up to 50 worth of those days.
Yeah.
Which isn't, I mean, granted, that's not even a whole one. Yeah, it's not a whole summer. So
I would just leave the criteria as is, you know.
we'll think about it. Well, maybe if somebody applies that's from Mendham, we can regroup.
Yeah, that may change over the summer too. You
Yeah.
might find out someone's not going and they really want to go, and you know, a lot of people don't want to divulge that information, but we could find out along the way.
Yeah.
You know, like so-and-so, you notice the kid's wearing the same clothes every day. You know, just stuff like that is going to become apparent. You can just have a quick, you know, side discussion with the parent or the guardian.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right. And then I don't know if we want to tentatively set a date or wait and see how things go.
So one more.
I have one more thing too.
The proposed building up there. What do we have any action items on that?
So I've gotten nothing back.
They said
Again,
keep working on it, but what do they mean by that?
I haven't had that. So our request got pulled.
Yeah.
I sent something to Kim to ask for guidance on how we would go about getting more formal pricing. I did not get a reply. I have not had the time to follow up with her
Can you
and chase her down.
On those?
I can do that and just say, you know, we're looking for an update here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of was thinking we're focusing so much on all this other stuff that maybe could wait a little
And I
bit.
think the big reason they pulled it is because they want to do the senior center this year. They're trying to get funding for that.
Yeah, well, they're doing this DPW study, so I think they're looking for that study to come back. But even they said at the meeting, like, doesn't matter what you call it, you're still going to need a building to park the equipment in.
Yeah.
So it doesn't change things. And I'll let you know at some point. I think they want to meet with you guys as well for this study. I think they're looking to talk to the parks commissioners and the water commissioners.
Sure.
I don't know I haven't heard a whole lot on that. So that's kind of that thing.
Okay.
The field lighting, I think that's getting passed over. Nobody's responding to me. I keep getting told that somebody else has a quote, but nobody can get me a copy of it. I did reach out to the Musco people and they never answered. And again, with everything going on, I think it should just wait a year. We could apply for the grant and try for the funding at the November town meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that hurts our application.
I think we should include our courts over here.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we do that though, then we definitely should table the whole thing and start, because it totally changes the budget. This was just looking at the 6 poles for the field lights based on that number they gave us.
Yep.
So if that's the case, then we should regroup and take a whole year. And you know, we need to engage somebody to really come in and look at all this.
Yes.
But I think these 8 lights we should look to fix ourselves without a grant and get them done.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't, because otherwise, the best case scenario with this grant is we can't break ground until like September, and if we don't get the money at this town meeting, then we're pushing it to November. So it means we can't spend a penny, because otherwise that's part of the grant rules. But you had said at a previous meeting, we should look at potentially having more lighting than just the fields, like the common spaces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, separate from these lights, I think. But I don't know, because I think the big expense is
one meeting we had
with the softball guys.
Softball, we talked about maybe getting some lights out here, because these are aging fixtures. We've been talking about replacing them anyway. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do it. Let's do it. Then you'd have matching poles, you have matching fixtures. You know, we just look a lot better too.
Yeah, I feel like we already did have to work with all the stuff in the ground over here.
Yeah.
If that
You
would
might
all get
probably reuse some of that as well.
ripped out and started over, because they would do
It's the
proper
poles and
footings.
lights right now.
Right.
Are holding us back.
I mean, I'm hoping these utility poles are not going to be horrible.
Did you guys want to take a quick walk over?
Yeah, we should do that. Let me just adjourn the meeting. So now,
I make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Second.
Just gonna stop the recording.